big. That's right. Fail big. You only live once, so do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works.
All right, happy Saturday morning, everybody. Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. It's your boy B Jizzle on a YouTube exclusive on Saturdays. That's right, hard work and discipline. If you heard my guy Denzel Washington in on the intro about failing big, that's right, we are getting started here every Saturday to come and bring you your Dallas Cowboys news and notes on Saturday, exclusively on YouTube. Y'all know I do a lot of my dirt on Facebook, but we're only live on YouTube this morning. So if you're live with me this morning, do me a favor, press the like button, give me a comment, and share this video. Help other Cowboy fans know that they can come hang out with your boy Cowboys Unify on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. But we are in schedule week, y'all. Are you excited? I mean, there's only been one game that's been announced officially, and I think that's the Miami Dolphins and the Washington Commanders in like week 11 or something like that. But there's some other news that's out. So we're in schedule week. So we got the NFL schedule coming out on May 14th, which this is the Circle the Date episode. I will be on a flight to Virginia on May 14th. I will have a show here on Saturday with our schedule reactions. So we'll be live here on Wednesday too, going over the actual schedule. But you know, between now and then, you're going to have a few games that are going to come out and sprinkle, like we've seen with the I think there's a game it's overseas somewhere. I think it's with, let's just go take a look at it. But I got the strength of schedule up here. We're going to take a look at that too as well. Let me just take a look at who is that week 11 game on the NFL schedule, because I'm excited. You know, we're having a schedule predictions competition here in on my Patreon, and you know, there's 3 dates that I'm really looking forward to, and that's when are the Dallas Cowboys going to Las Vegas, who are the Dallas Cowboys going to open up against the season, and who are the Dallas Cowboys going to open up against the home opener. But if you take a look here, we've got the strength of schedule that has been released. Y'all take a look at this strength of schedule. The New York Giants have the toughest schedule this season. Look at all those NFC East teams at the top. You got the Giants, you got the Eagles at number 4. You got the Cowboys at number 5. And you got the Commanders at number 7. The New York Giants with a .574 win strength of schedule. Tough for the Giants, right? They got Russell Wilson over there. They got our guy, Jameis Winston, who Jerry Jones absolutely loves, right? But this is the strength of schedule that's coming out. And, you know, the Cowboys ain't going to have no cakewalk this season, y'all. It's going to be tough pickings as we're going to get into some news and notes about the Dallas Cowboys this week. I know everybody's happy that we have traded for a George Pickens. I mean, Jerry Jones, or maybe Jimmy Johnson, has woke up the old soul of Jerry Jones and says you got to go out there and trade for some folks, right? But Jerry did say before the draft that there was going to be 2 substantial trades as we're kicking off schedule week here today. He said there was going to be 2 trades possibly before the draft. It could go down during the draft, or it could go down after the draft. And one already went down after the draft, where we've seen the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers trade some picks, and they dealt George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, a lot of people got some questions about this and say, hey, good morning, Mike. How we doing? I see you tapping in over there this morning. There goes my 2023 Gym Rat of the season, Gym Rat of the year right there. Hey, Mike, man, you need to go get your schedule predictions in. Today is the last day on my Patreon to get your schedule predictions in. I'll just throw up this right here so y'all can check it out. You got to get your schedule predictions in, baby. And we're talking about the NFL schedule. Did you know the NFL schedule originally started with one man creating the schedule? Does anybody know the name of that man? I know my patrons know because I shared that on my Patreon this week. But this is the pick. This is the post right here. I'm going to share this post in the comments. So, Mike, you're there. It's going to be easy for you to get to it. If you're on my Patreon and you have a Raise the Bar membership, I need to know, when are the Cowboys coming to Vegas? I need to know, who are the Cowboys opening up at home against? And I need to know, are the Cowboys really about to play the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday Night Football? Say what? That link is in the comments, Mike Rock. Make sure you go over there and get your schedule predictions in. We only got 4 people with their schedule predictions in. Now, come on, we had 5 people last month in April compete for Gym Rat of the Month. This month, there's only 4 people up. So everybody that's paying attention, good job. Reading is fundamental. And if you're on my Patreon and you're not reading, what are you doing? I mean, I appreciate the support, but reading is fundamental and comprehension is key. Appreciate that. What up, Sterling? See you in the gym this morning. Says, man, morning, BG. Do you need to fix mine? No, I don't need to fix yours. I don't need to fix yours unless you put them somewhere wrong. But they don't belong in the chat. They belong on the comments of this post here on my Patreon. As you see, other folks have already put their schedule predictions there. So that link is in the comments. So Mike Rock and also my guy Sterling Sellers, make sure y'all hit that link and go put your schedule predictions on there today, because after the day, they're not going to be legit. That means you will not be qualified for May Gym Rat of the Month. So let's get back to the strength of schedule, right? Cowboys got a really tough schedule this season, y'all. Not only do the Cowboys got a tough schedule, I told y'all the NFC East getting ready to be must-see TV. Y'all think I'm bullshitting? NFC East has had 16 primetime games over the last 3 seasons, averaged. That's between all 4 teams, 16 games. Dallas Cowboys had 6, leading 6 primetime games. Everybody always mad talking about, why the Dallas Cowboys get on the primetime game? They suck. Well, we don't suck now. We got George Pickens. Yeah, it's about to be must-see TV in the NFC East, baby. The NFC East, after the draft and free agency, is packed plumb with talent. I mean, it's going to be must-see TV. I think the Cowboys open up against the Eagles week 1 at Thursday Night Football. Y'all know my girl Kels with the Intels has been here. Y'all know who she is. She's been around on position predictions. She's been telling me that Jerry's been advocating with the front office of the league for the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles to play on Thursday Night Football. Now, if you're really paying attention, the NFL just posted a couple of days ago, who will the Eagles open up against? And guess what? All 3 other NFC East teams were on that list. Out of 8 teams that they could potentially play, the 3 NFC East teams were there. That tells you we're going to hit 20-plus primetime games this season. Think about it. The Cowboys, we always get 5 to 6 per season, right? We always average 5 to 6 per season. Everybody said, why the Cowboys always get the primetime game? Nobody want to watch the Cowboys. Well, guess what? Did you know that the 4 NFC East teams between Dallas, Philadelphia, New York, and the Commanders are in the 4 biggest TV markets in the world, Craig? Yeah. Yeah, they are. But here's my predictions right here. I got the Eagles with 6 primetime games this season, because I think we're going to have an NFC East opener on Thursday Night Football for schedule predictions. That's right. I got the Cowboys and the Eagles week 1 on Thursday Night Football. That's my prediction. You can go check it out down below. I got the Cowboys with 5. The Commanders are going to inch up with 5, and the Giants are going to get 4. Say what? You must be crazy, BG. Ain't no way the Giants are going to get 4. We'll take a look at it. They got Jameis Winston over there. They got Russell Wilson over there. They got Malik Neighbors, and they drafted that dude that all the Dallas Cowboy fans wanted Jerry Jones to draft in Cam Scatterboot. Yeah. You just tapping in this morning, do me a favor, leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. We're live exclusively on YouTube here today. I've got the strength of schedule up. The NFC East are in the top 7 of the toughest schedules. New York at 1, 2, 3, 4. Elite. Philadelphia at 4, 5 at Cowboys. 8. We're in the top 8. Washington Commanders. So out of 4 teams in the NFL, the NFC East has 4 of the 8 toughest schedules. You know what I really love is when the Cowboys go 12-5 every season, right? Because y'all know we fucking good in the regular season, right? We real good in the regular season. It's just this playoff thing that we have a problem with, but I think George Pickens might be able to help out with that this season. But I really love when we go on win streaks. Y'all remember that one year when we went on an 11-game win streak? I think it was 2016, right? I was in San Francisco when that game kicked off. And we went on like 11-game win streak. You remember what everybody was saying? You remember what all the other 32 NFL teams were saying? Well, who y'all playing? Y'all ain't playing no real teams. Why don't y'all play a real team? Then I asked the question, well, I thought all the fucking teams in the NFL were real. I mean, they're all professional. So show me where the fake teams hang out at. Show me where the fake teams list is so that way I can go over there and I can see it. Yeah, you know, y'all ain't playing nobody. But let's get back to this schedule. Yeah, I shared this on my Patreon earlier this week as we kick off NFL schedule week. One man began the creation of the NFL schedule. His name was Val Pinchbeck. Yeah, one dude. He used to look at that board, look at that picture behind him. As you see Val right there in the middle. Look at all of those things hanging up on those board, all those little key things they're moving. Like this one guy, he would just spend hours and hours and hours and days and days and days putting the NFL schedule together. But now the NFL schedule is actually put together by 6 NFL executives and 1 computer. And we're getting ready to see the schedule break on May 14th, which I expect between today and the 14th, which is Wednesday, we're going to get some trickle games. We're going to see this NFC East game or this primetime game or this Christmas Day game or whatever. We're getting ready to see the onesies and the twosies get released before May 14th. And when the 14th breaks out, mark my words, when the schedule breaks, airline tickets go up, hotel tickets go up. What up, Rusty? I see you in the building, baby. Appreciate you tapping in this morning. Do me a favor, you're tapping in. Give me a comment and let me know you're alive and kicking. Give me a comment. Press like and share on there. That way this content can stay in the front of your algorithm. I'm going to be live here on every Saturday that I can. This is my 2nd Saturday in a row. As you've seen that intro video with Denzel talking about discipline and hard work and consistency, right? That's what we're trying to do is build some consistency here this off season. So I'm moving my talents to YouTube on Saturdays to exclusively be over here on YouTube because all the cool kids are out over here on YouTube. All I do is see all the cool kids hang on YouTube. I don't really see that many cool folks on Facebook. You know, it's all us old head Cowboy fans, right? Yep, it's all us old head Cowboy fans. But getting back to our NFL schedule, can you tell me when the Cowboys, which week the Cowboys will fly to Las Vegas to play? That has been deemed the takeover game. You say, what's the takeover game? Well, I could show you better than I could tell you, fam. Anybody actually get a chance to go to the Atlanta game last season? Any Dallas Cowboys tapping in that were in Atlanta last season? Let me know in the comment below. Shout out to all of the Patreons that support, baby. Y'all know y'all supporting the only blog on the internet sharing stories about Dallas Cowboy fans and such. But here it is right here. Fans took over ATL last November, right? Last November was deemed a takeover game, y'all. That's right. In this season, the Las Vegas game is deemed a takeover. So what does that mean? Well, when the season broke last season, when the schedule broke last season, rather, everybody circled the dates. All the Cowboy fans I know, all the boots on ground Cowboy fans, all the fans that like to travel and get in the trenches, right? We all circled the dates. And I tell y'all about this in my free Canva ebook on how you can get, your schedule together between April and April as a content creator, especially around the Dallas Cowboys, man. This is a big time operation, y'all. The NFL is global. The NFL is already working with influencers. Take a look at YouTube. Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys already working with big time YouTuber over here, Voch Lombardi. I know some of y'all watch Voch. Y'all know who Voch is. Vach is getting a lot of run with the Dallas Cowboys. We see a lot of the NFL reaching into the trenches, looking for creators, looking for those fans out there. Now, I don't have ambition to work with the Dallas Cowboys. I just have ambition to tell you where to go, what to do, and who to see, because that's my mission here this season on YouTube, is to connect fans off social media at live events. And so can you tell me when the Dallas Cowboys are going to visit Las Vegas? That is going to be number one. These are my Patreon predictions right here. I think that the Dallas Cowboys will fly into Las Vegas week 5. I'm pegging week 5 as a Sunday night football game, another primetime game, right? I mean, we got to have a lot of primetime games. You've seen our strength of schedule. It's not like they're going to have us on tough schedules and not put us on primetime. Look, you know, they've always, like last season, they really fucked it up, right? Because they gave us 6. They gave the Jets 6 with Aaron Rodgers, the Cowboy killer, who can't get a job, smoking on Marlboros now, right? And then they had the Niners over there, and then we seen what happened, because I was one of the fools that fell for the fool's gold on the running back over there in San Francisco, Christian McCaffrey, right? Well, nobody wanted to see them play. I mean, shout out to the Bang Bang gang. They ain't the big bad bully that we once thought they were, right? The San Francisco 49ers don't fucking scare nobody no more. But yeah, they all had 6 games too as well, but I think the Cowboys are going to get 5. But I think in week 5, I think the Cowboys fly to Las Vegas, and I'm looking forward to that, because I've got a lot of things that we're working on. Once the schedule breaks this week, there's going to be a lot of dates over the next couple of weeks coming out about events. You're going to see people that, for example, shout out to Coach out there on the West Coast, baby, out there in California. Shout out to my guy, Coach, who founded the Hard Hitters. The Hard Hitters are going to be having their 10th annual anniversary there in Las Vegas that weekend. So there's going to be a lot of Cowboys events going on. So if you're just tuning in right now, do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe, because I will be sharing all that information on where you need to go, who you need to see, how much it's going to be, and all of the like. But we're talking the NFL schedule. So getting back to week 5, Las Vegas, that's my schedule prediction number 1. Number 2 is, I believe the Cowboys open up against the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. That's going to be a tough draw. Now, we're going to see a lot of fake news over these next few days. I've already seen some fake news, and I've seen some of my Cowboy cousins sharing the fake bullshit on social media. Somebody said that the Cowboys was going to open up in Chicago at Soldier Field, but that was shared out of a Chicago group on Facebook, so it just made sense. Oh, they're trying to get more folks to come in. Like, who do they have? How do they know the schedule drop? I know folks in the building, and I ain't even got the information yet. But there's going to be a lot of fake news that's going to come out over this next few days, because everybody's going to want to pretend like they got the drop on the schedule. Well, I don't have the drop on nothing. I'm waiting on the schedule to get dropped on the 14th. I'm not here to try to leak no information to tell you what's going to happen. I'm telling you what I've put together here with my network that Kels has been saying that Jerry's been pushing with the front office. Now, nobody says that's going to happen, because a lot of folks, quite frankly, think that it's going to be the Commanders and the Eagles on week 1, which very well could be. But guess what? That's 2 primetime games. I'll take it. Let's get to some of these comments and who's tapping in, babe. Mike says, you and the fake team tab. Yeah, man. You know, them haters, baby, they always like to say, you know, when we go 12-5, Mike, because you know we good in the regular season, baby. We're real good in the regular season. They gonna give us our props about that, right? And they gonna say, who y'all playing? Y'all playing them fake teams, man. Well, who made the fucking schedule? It wasn't Val Pinchbeck. It's 6 NFL executives in a computer. I mean, if you know, knowing is, what do they say? If you know better, you could do better, right? Yeah, I see you, Rusty. I see you tapping in. Top, what's good, baby? Week 9, please. You're talking about Las Vegas? Okay, I can buy that. I know you got your Patreon schedule predictions in too, so good to see those Patreon predictions coming in. Yeah, that's right. My guy Mike Rock was in ATL with me. Yeah, 2023 Gym Rat of the Year. That's right. We took our 2023 Gym Rat of the Year, just like this competition we're running now, on schedule predictions. We had position predictions last month, so shout out to our winner, Prototype. This month, we got schedule predictions. So every month from April to April, we're having a competition. You can get in on it too as well. I'll share my Patreon link in the comments below. So if you're just now checking me out for the first time, you can check out my competitions each month and get in to see what you can win. Because next year, our winner, like Mike Rock, got into ATL, got down on the ground, That's right. We was down on the turf, baby. Shout out to our guy, RC up in AK with the plug right there. But yeah, our winner this year is going to be flown to Alaska. That's right. Our Gym Rat of the Year is going to be flown to Alaska in June of 2026 to go on our Great Alaska fishing trip that's coming up. Now I'll be headed to June next month. I'll be headed to Alaska for our second go round. As you can see, here is our initial go round. Shout out to my guy RC right there on the right. His son Rokeys, who now is in the Air Force. Shout out to my guy Rokeys, Air Force. And we got Kim Clam next to Rokeys there. She actually outfished all the men on the boat. And that is around Seward, Alaska right there. So our Gym Rat of the Year is going to be flown from the lower 48 up to the 49th state, just like we see Mike Rock go to Atlanta in 2023. So appreciate you tapping in here this morning to get some context, Mike Rock. Thank you. I'm going to place that Patreon link in the comments. So if you want to check that out, you can. And we're going to get back to the schedule. Sterling says if he wins this time, he's keeping it. Yeah, shout out to my guy Sterling, because last month we had 2 ties. April, we had Sterling and Prototype actually got 8 out of the 9 draft picks when it came to positions, like wide receiver, tight end. Like they predicted 8 out of the 9 draft picks that we had correct. And my guy Sterling is such a gentleman. He gave the championship to Prototype because it was her birthday that day. So I thought that was real classy. So I'm glad to have some classy supporters on my Patreon. Thank you, Sterling, for always tapping in. But let's get back to it. That Patreon link is now in the comments. Now, if you got questions, comments, or concerns, or you're just now coming here for the first time, let's get acquainted. Let me know who you are. Tap in down there. Every Saturday, I'm going to be live on YouTube. I know I do a lot of my dirt on Facebook, but I'm now trying to get acquainted with my subs over here on YouTube, because I'm telling you, all the cool kids are over here, man. I'm trying to, we Cowboy old heads on Facebook. We trying to migrate to YouTube and hang out with the young kids, the cool kids out here. But obviously the big news this week for the Dallas Cowboys was the trade for George Pickens. And now we're going to see a new shiny object enter into the mainstream media, right? I covered that over here this week. I told you why I thought that, our guy, George Pickens, is a bad boy decoy. And everybody's like, how is he a decoy? What's he a decoy for? Well, I mean, obviously, he goes against everything Schottenheimer's trying to build in this culture with this locker room right now, right? And so why would they bring a guy in that's been fined like 10 times or penalized, or, fined by the league by 10 times, by hundreds of thousands of dollars? This guy doesn't show up to meetings. This guy's a problem. He's been nothing but a problem in Pittsburgh. Do I got any Pittsburgh Steelers fans tapping in on the live this morning? Let me know. There's a reason why they let him go. But I'm happy that we got him, because that is a decoy. That takes a double team off a CD. I mean, you got, one guy on one side of the field, one guy on the other side of the field. It's like, who you going to double team? Then you can't forget about Jake Ferguson as a tight end. Then you can't forget about wide receiver 3. The battle for wide receiver 3 is about to be real in camp, y'all. Let's go take a look at this Dallas Cowboys roster as they've got it updated now. I got it here so that way you can see it. I'll share the link in the comments below. They've got the full roster out there, baby. Cowboys are wheeling and dealing. I can't remember in a long time that we've been dismanned with our roster this early before going into mandatory OTAs. But if you take a look at the full roster right here, the Dallas Cowboys have their full roster up. They've got all of the undrafted free agents and everybody on there too as well, and unrestricted free agents. As you can see, all the undrafted free agents, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's those 9 undrafted free agents that we grabbed after the draft. Now, remember, we drafted 9 rookies, so that's 18 bodies. But the Cowboys have their whole roster pretty much filled out. There's 91-man roster with their international pathway player added to that, right? Because, that's what that 91 is for. That 1 is for that international path player weight, right? But the Cowboys are fully manned, y'all. And, I mean, now we're hearing reports that Jerry is removing himself as the GM. Now, I know this is all rumor, but think about this, y'all. I think you got to be able to read the tea leaves in Dallas right now. And the fact that Jerry Jones did not speak at the NFL Combine, that was the first tea leaf. They're like, why was Jerry not talking at the combine? Because, you know, Jerry ain't never met a microphone like BG he didn't like. Never met a microphone he didn't like. He loved to talk to the microphone. Microphone fiend, right? Called Jerry Jones, Jerry Rakim, right? He's a microphone fiend. Well, he didn't talk at the combine. And I knew something was up with that. But I'm looking forward to it. Let's get to some of these comments in here. Let's see what up, Luis Ortiz. He says, okay, who thinks Deuce is staying with Blue? Hey, that's a great question, Luis. Thank you for tapping in here this morning. A lot of folks are saying, you know, Deuce should be cut. A lot of folks were mad that Malik Davis got cut. You know, the running back that's been hanging around special teams for the Dallas Cowboys on and off the practice squad for a number of years. Yeah. You take a look at this running back room now. We got Javonte Williams. We got Miles Sanders. We got Jaden Blue. We got Phil Maffa. We got Javonte Williams. Or did I name him already? Let's go over again. Javonte Williams, Deuce Vaughn, Hunter Lipke, Miles Sanders. You know, we got a large number of running backs that's on this roster, right? Only 4 of them are going to make it. And I'm not ready to decide who I think is going to make this running back roster because I'll be at training camp in the first week of August, and I'm going to be down there just like I was last year. Like last year when I came out of camp, I told y'all Rico Dowdle was cutting, juking, and jiving like he's RB1. And that was with Zeke at training camp last season. Luis always tapping back in. It says, why would you think you don't need 2 speedy guys and 2 power backs? Why would you want only one if it happens to get hurt? I don't know. It's going to be a competition, just like a wide receiver, 3. Running back is going to be a competition. There's going to be running backs on this roster that's not going to make the roster. Let's go back to the roster. We could take a look at who they got there. I know they don't have the depth chart up, but let's see. We got I think 5. We got Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Deuce Vaughn, Hunter Lipke. Who else? Phil Maffa. Yeah, I think there's like 6, 7 running backs on this roster, right? Yeah, I can't remember them all right now. It's a lot of them, baby. It's like 11 wide receivers. Trying to memorize all these players on this team is giving me a headache, man. Sterling says you have to pick your poison because Pickens has some hands and he's good. I read it was best for both parties that he was traded, and Pittsburgh wants to see the receiver talent they drafted. I ain't mad at Pittsburgh getting off our guy, George Pickens. I mean, the Cowboys didn't get a wide receiver in the draft. And just like last season, everybody was crying why we didn't draft a running back last year. Now we're crying why we didn't draft a wide receiver. Well, out of those 2 undrafted free agents, we also got 2 receivers on there as well. So now when you add George Pickens, that's CD Lamb plus 11 other receivers on this roster. Some of them not going to make it. Sterling says, our lineman coach is from KSU and knows how to use Vaughn. Yeah, you know, there's been that connection there. It's going to be interesting because Hunter Lipke is on the last year of his rookie deal. Deuce Vaughn might have been a nepotism pick with the Dallas Cowboys, kind of like Bronny James and the LeBron James deal in the NBA. I mean, it goes around. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting because a lot of things we need to take into consideration is this new shoddy offense. We don't know what this offense is going to look like. We don't know which particular players and which skill sets are going to thrive in this new offensive scheme. And we're not going to know any of that until we get into training camp. And then in the training camp and preseason, we're really not going to know because are they really going to show us their full hand? That's why we're going to have to tap into mandatory OTAs, which we got coming up. So if you're just tapping in, we already went over rookie minicamp. Rookie minicamp is complete. We got OTAs coming up May 19th. That's in 9 days. The 19th and the 20th OTAs kick off. Then the 22nd, the 28th through the 30th. And then June 2nd through the 3rd and the 5th. That's going to be mandatory OTAs where everybody's got to show up. All the rookies, all the undrafted free agents, all the players on the roster fighting to make this squad this season. And then we're going to see mandatory minicamp in June 10 to 12. So that's going to be real key right after OTAs is that mandatory minicamp because you got to remember folks can get in trouble outside with the media, which I don't hope we have anything like that. You know, media distractions, we don't need any of that, which, you know, we already know the mainstream media is going to concoct media distractions like this George Pickens. George Pickens is the new shiny object in Dallas. Get ready to hear about George Pickens all fucking offseason this summer on dun-dun-dun. Is George Pickens a good pick for the Cowboys? Is George Pickens going to get the peel in the Cowboys? Is George Pickens going to be a problem in the Cowboys? Is George Pickens, you name it. We're getting ready, baby. All summer long, it's going to be dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Let's get to more of these comments. He says, Lupke, you can use as a tight end. I don't know about that. Lupke ain't much taller than me, man. I met him in camp last season. He's a little small, and I'm 6 foot. So we got tight end covered. I don't know why we would need to move Lupke over to tight end, baby. We still got a full tight end squad. We got Jake Ferguson, who's on a contract year currently. We still got Luke Schoonmaker from Michigan that everybody loves, all the Michigan folks, right? We got Brevin Spanford. We still got about a handful of tight ends that some might not make the squad, but I don't see Hunter Lipke as a tight end. He says he's a better tight end than any undrafted free agents you picked up. I don't know what you're talking about, Luis. He says exactly why I thought we picked up Booker so they could remake Deuce's college days because he runs better. No, they didn't get Booker for Deuce. What Facebook page or what AI page on YouTube are you following, Luis? Just let me know right quick, baby. We went and got Booker to protect the house, baby. Y'all forget we got that big-ass mortgage payment on Dak Prescott. Yeah. Some of y'all pay rent, but if you got a mortgage, you know exactly what I'm saying. When that mortgage is due, you're not fucking around with that mortgage. You got to pay that mortgage. Because you don't pay that mortgage and they start sending them letters talking about they're going to repossess that house. That's why they went and got Booker. They need to protect Dak. Also, to establish dominance on the line of scrimmage. And to work on our run game this season because, yes, Clayton Adams, offensive coordinator now, wants to run the fucking ball. And we're going to see how committed they are to running the ball. And that's why it's going to be interesting to see this running back by committee that we're getting ready to get into because we don't have that one. We didn't get that Ashton Jeanty I wanted. I was hoping Ashton Jeanty would have failed to us, but it didn't happen. So we don't have that one back there, but it's going to be interesting, just like it's going to be interesting for wide receiver 3 as well. Rusty tapping back in says Jerry Jones dollar days coming soon. For what? We don't need to sign any. If anything else happens, remember, as we get ready to wrap up here, we'll keep this short. Jerry said going into the trade, we had two going into the draft, there was 2 substantial trades that could happen during or before the draft, during or after the draft. Now we've seen one happen after the draft. That's with George Pickens. He still alluded that there's another trade that could happen. So we don't know. So let me know in the comments below where would y'all like to see the Dallas Cowboys try to trade for next. But we don't need to go to the dollar bin anymore. We got 9 undrafted free agents. We got 9 rookies. We got a 91-man roster right now. So tell me, why do we need to go to the Dollar Tree or the Dollar General store during this season, during this offseason? Unless somebody gets hurt or something happens where, somebody gets in some trouble or something like that. But we don't need to go to the Dollar General that much. We're not doing anything. We're not moving around compensatory picks like we did a couple of years ago with Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore. The roster's set, y'all. The 91 is set unless we do another trade, which could mean we trade away some picks to get another player or what. But make sure and turn on your notifications because by next Saturday, if something happens this week, I'll be in Virginia Beach next Saturday. I'll be live on Virginia Beach out there with my girl Candy Cowboy. Shout out to my girl Candy. We're going to be at the 4th annual Star Diva Beach Bash. That's right. 88 behavior. It's going down. We got any folks on the East Coast in Virginia watching here today? I want you to pull up, baby, because we're going to have a bowling tournament. That's right. We're going to be throwing up the X. I'm going to have my first ever 88 behavior bowling tournament kicking off in Virginia. That's right. We're going to be at the Wyndham in Virginia. So there is the flyer right there. But yeah, I'll be on that flight as the schedule breaks on the 14th. And then on the 15th, we'll circle back around. You'll see a notification here that on the 15th, I'll come back and we'll circle the dates and we'll compare notes and find out who knows what they're talking about on their schedule predictions, right? Let's get to more of these comments. Rusty says, we don't just need to grow. We just need to grow together. Yeah, exactly. It's the chemistry. It's the culture. It's what we're hearing that's coming out of the Star and everything that, George Pickens stands for kind of goes against the culture that the Dallas Cowboys are trying to build in his locker room. But we needed a legitimate I mean, this guy's a wide receiver 1A. I don't even like to call him a 2 because any other team, he's a 1. Behind CD Lamb, he's like a 1A, right? Sterling tapping back in and says, if we were doing another trade, I see maybe before the trade deadline. Yeah, before the trade deadline, something got to happen, right? Jerry alluded to 2 trades, so we've seen 1. So I want to ask all Cowboy fans that happen to tap in maybe after the fact here today that watch this, are you happy with the way the Cowboys have been moving this offseason? Because I know previously Cowboy fans have been saying the Cowboys don't do enough, during a free agency or whatnot. But we heard that term selectively aggressive come out. And like I said, Jerry didn't talk at the combine. So what does that mean? Maybe Jerry's removing himself from the picture. Maybe he's allowing folks to do their job, like the Washington Commanders when they went to the playoffs and the Cowboys didn't. And we heard Magic Johnson and their new owner over there saying, we just hired the player and drafted the coaches, or we drafted the players and hired the coaches, and we get out of the way and let them do their job. Maybe Jerry's getting out of the way and letting folks doing their job because Jerry is 82 years old and Jerry ain't getting no younger. And if I know Jerry the way I think he does, especially with this league, I think Jerry got one more get out of jail free card. And it might be this season, especially with George Pickens, because George Pickens makes this offense automatically better. But it's the defense that's been the real problem, because last season, the defense couldn't stop the run. And now we got Matt Eberflus back, and this defensive stalwart and Micah Parsons, who nobody's talking about his contract anymore. You got to remember, free agency goes all the way to November 4th. And George Pickens has kind of hijacked this whole shiny object thing. It's not even about Micah Parsons' contract no more. So I think George Pickens is the new shiny object. Like I said, he's a bad boy decoy. Y'all know he's a bad boy decoy. And I love it because he's got rough. He's got edge. Like, everybody remembers when Michael Jordan played for the Bulls, right? And they had that guy named Dennis Rodman on their team. They got any old heads happening here today? Remember Dennis Rodman? Shout out to Turf Caps, official sponsor right here. You see the logo down below right there. Shout out to my guy JB in Las Vegas. I'll share the link in the comments here. You can get your customized Dallas turf caps. These are for all the golfers out there. You see, we got the green turf on the top. This is a prototype hat. There are going to be some more hats that are going to be coming out. But I'm happy to partner with my guy JB out there in Las Vegas, because it's going down in Las Vegas, baby. When we circle the dates and we figure out in Las Vegas going down, I'm working on a community service project now with a couple of nonprofits. Did you guys know that there's people that live under the tunnels in Las Vegas? Homeless people. There's a lot of people that live under the bright city lights of the tunnels of Las Vegas. Yeah. So hopefully we're going to reach out with a couple of nonprofits and touch some folks, some homeless folks out there in Las Vegas. And plus we're going to do a Raiders Cowboys golf tournament. Yeah, that's going down. So you like to golf, you want to bring your sticks out to Las Vegas, and I ain't talking about the kind you burn. I'm talking about kind you swing. If you want to bring your sticks out there, you want to get into a golf tournament, we're going to have a golf tournament out there. So make sure and turn on your notifications, because I'm going to be sharing all that information here next Saturday when the schedule breaks. Like I said, on the 15th, we'll have a show scheduled to go over the schedule. And then on Saturday, we'll circle back as I'm live in VA. And then we'll talk more about that, because everybody's going to circle their dates. Everybody's going to buy their plane tickets. Everybody's going to buy their game tickets and the like, right? But I'll take any questions we got in here before we wrap up over the next 5 minutes or so. I wanted to make sure and tap back in here today for the second Saturday in a row. Like we said, coming in, discipline and consistency is the key to success. Like we've seen Denzel Washington talk on the intro video about failing big. How many of y'all really paid attention to that intro video? Y'all remember that was the last Super Bowl parade the Dallas Cowboys had in Dallas, right? I know it's too early, but it's always our year until it ain't, right? It's always our year until it ain't. It's rinse and repeat, baby. You got to be excited about this season. I think Cowboy fans should be more excited about this season than they were last season. And if you agree, do me a favor, just like this video. But I'll take any questions that we got, any other concerns before we get out of here today. I'm happy to join y'all on Saturday. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I see your prototype. Good to see you in the building. That's our April Gym Rat of the month right there. Make sure, I know you've got your schedule predictions in. So let's just go over that one more time. Shout out to everybody on the Patreon. So if you want to support the content, you're more than happy to come over and check it out. but we got this competition running this month. Can you tell me when the Cowboys travel to Las Vegas? Can you tell me who the Cowboys play first this season? And can you tell me who do the Cowboys open up at home against? Here is that post right here that you need to put your predictions on. So shout out to Sarah's got her in. Mike Rock's got his in. Sterling's got his in. Jay's got his in. Now, I know my guy Troy Park was trying to get his in, but this is the post where you got to put them. Why? Because this makes it easier for me to track. Yep. Man, what is this dude, Louis? Man, what are you smoking, bro? I need some of the shit you smoking this morning, man. I'm getting ready to roll me something up. It's medication and hydration in the gym this morning, but I need some of that shit Luis is on. Sterling said you had a bad one if you have a lot of classy bullies. Yeah, you need a bad one if you got a lot of classy bullies. I like that. Yeah, you need that Rodman. Yeah, Michael Jordan in the 90s. Y'all remember Dennis Rodman? He was the bad boy. Dallas got that bad boy at George Pickens, and I love it. Because I know he's going to be catching and snatching balls and scoring touchdowns and talking shit in the process. He might even get fined for a celebration. And with that being said, before we get out of here, y'all know that the NFL did ban the nose wipe celebration, right? Of CeeDee Lamb. Y'all remember how CeeDee Lamb was doing this? The nose wipe, they say that's gang affiliated. NFL will not tolerate it anymore. So I want to know, before we get out of here today, or if you watch this after the fact, make sure you use hashtag replay. If you watch this after I'm off the live, make sure you use hashtag replay and put down what kind of celebration do you think CD's going to celebrate this year? Because he can't do the nose wipe no more, and he can't do anything that makes a gesture of like a gun. They crack it down on this shit, y'all. I don't like it any more than you like it. It's the no fun league. But it's going to be interesting because when you get CD and you get George Pickens on the field and they get to grooving, might be some fireworks this season, Cowboy fans. Might be some fireworks. And for everybody, miss me with that bullshit talking about, well, Dak Prescott can't get him the ball. Well, how the fuck is CD a Pro Bowler? Who throwing him the ball? That's all I want to know. But I appreciate everybody tapping in here today. That's right. We're talking about them classy bullies, baby. We got some classy bullies. Booker is on the rise. And here's my NFC East primetime predictions again. I think the Eagles are going to have the most in the division with 6. I believe there's going to be a total of 20 primetime games. The Cowboys will get their 5 status quo. The Washington Commanders are going to creep up and get 5 for the first time. And I believe the New York Giants for the first time will have more than 3 primetime games this season. Why? Because NFC East is getting ready to be must-see TV, y'all. Especially if we kick off on Thursday Night Football when this schedule breaks on May 14th and says the Cowboys are traveling to Las Vegas to play, or traveling to Philadelphia, rather, to play the Super Bowl defending champions. But I'm BG, the Cowboys Unified, baby. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me this morning. It's been another edition of YouTube Saturday with your boy, talking news and notes around your Cowboys. So we got the schedule breaking this week. It's going to be a lot of circling the dates. And just like I told you, watch how them hotel prices and those airline prices go up. We'll see y'all back in the gym next Saturday. I'll be live from Virginia Beach, baby. That's right. On the next episode. Appreciate y'all tapping in today. See you then.